during that period I had a lot of fun, less of studies. I guess that's the typical college life which is shown in movies and all. So yeah, I had a blast. They have great policies like 0% attendance, which you can leverage to your need. I'd say I learned a lot of new things which I could not do when I was in school.
Triple E is considered to be one of the most competitive branches, and the competition is quite high. One of the most sought after branch of BITS-Pilani. So, what's your view on that?
You can't get everything in the lectures because the professors are really professional. They might speak things in a way which you cannot understand, and they cannot give dedicated time because the lecture has 300 students. So it is a lot dependent on how much effort you put. I'd call it the make or break semester because either you give up on triple E in that semester or you just accept it to your core. By the end of that semester, I thought I am not a core guy. I should probably take an IT job or do that 3D modeling stuff for freelancing, something like that. The college has 0% attendance as a policy, but then they also don't announce if they are going to take tests or not. So you have to go to the lectures or the tutorial tests. It's not like you are just limited to the college. You get to know about opportunities happening outside, like maybe NUS where I'm going, or maybe IISc.
Since you come from Triple E, so I just want to know how's the placement scenario in BITS-Pilani for the circuit branches especially.
I myself got 2 offers, from one for Samsung Semiconductor, one from Nvidia. I was not like the most smartest person. I distinctly remember a course called Bhagavad Gita. That course specifically, something which I will always remember for BITS, and I'll thank BITS for that because BITS did allow such a course to happen. Most colleges do not, and yeah, I think that is what sets Pilani apart, that even if the country is following some trend, they will follow what they want to. There is no reservation, then there is no reservation. Doesn't matter what happens.
Hi, my dear friends. We have Mr. Abhishek Tyagi with us, who has done his Triple E, means Electrical and Electronics Engineering from BITS-Pilani Campus, and he has done 2 years of job in Nvidia. So he is ready to give answers of the most commonly asked questions by students. So Abhishek, are you ready?
Yes, Aditya, I'm ready. Thanks for inviting me here. And yeah, let's go. Let's ask.
So the first question is how your college life has been so far.
Yeah, I mean, looking back, I mean, I was there for 4 years. I was a bachelor student. So first of all, after the 2 years of grinding, preparing for JEE, I was quite happy that I got Pilani Campus. So like there are 3 campuses. I got the most oldest and I guess the main campus, Pilani Campus, and I got Triple E. So I was in a good position. I was quite happy. Starting off, when I joined college, the courses were what we studied in 11th and 12th. So during that period, I had a lot of fun, less of studies. And I guess that's the typical college life which is shown in movies and all. So yeah, I had a blast. I attended many fests. I participated in many activities. So I guess that was a period where I discovered my own abilities and skills apart from studying. So yeah, I mean, in the first year it was awesome, but starting from second year was a break into reality of engineering. So for the second and the third year there was a lot of grinding because yeah, like me, all of the students were also kind of pretty smart. That's why we could clear the BITSAT and be among the top bracket in the country. So the second and third year was a lot of academics, a lot of internships, and that opened doors to explore different avenues in the industry, go on research endeavors and all. So yeah, I'd say on a whole scale from the first year to the third year, I could explore the creative side as well as exploring the academic side of engineering. The fourth year was pretty much based on placements and internships. So I'd say it was more of seeing stuff outside of college.
I see.
But yeah, on a whole scale, I think I loved being at BITS-Pilani, and they have great policies like 0% attendance, which you can leverage to your need. And yeah, I mean, I had a blast being at the college, and if I could do it all over, I'd straight off start from the beginning. I just loved being there.
Okay, so let me dive deep into your 4-year journey. Starting from the first year, did you study? I mean, most of the courses they are repetitive courses from 11th and 12th grade. So did you have to study a lot in the first semester or second semester?
So I mean, to any student who comes inside the college, it's pretty clear that it comes with the idea that I'll score a good CG.
I see.
And so yeah, starting off in the first half of the first semester, everyone does grind. and you see a lot of competition. But then the fest come into the picture and people kind of loosen up. So yeah, in the beginning everyone is full of josh, but then yeah, it's pretty much relaxed. So I'd say it was moderate studying, not a lot. And in the second semester it was even lesser, because I was accustomed to giving the test, like we call them tutorial. So there are tests in the tutorial, so giving those and attending lectures or missing lectures, I'd say. Like I was pretty much accustomed to it, so I think I studied even lesser in the second semester. But yeah, it was pretty much more of me doing other extra co-curricular activities and all, but less of studying. Yeah, because most of the things I already knew, so it was just revising through them. So I don't think I gave as much time to studying as I gave to other activities in the first year, especially.
So when you're talking about the extracurricular activity, what are activities you're involved with?
Yeah, that's a good question. So in BITS, you get a variety of options to choose from, starting from dancing to singing, even preparing art for the college festivals. Or if you are a money minded person, that you can join the department of sponsorship. If you like working with music and controlling instruments and all, you can work with department of sound. There is department of lights, which handles all the technical aspects of different performances which are given. So I was part of the department of visual media. So my department was primarily focused on producing the media content like videos, and preparing the website for different festivals or college events, and preparing payment portals like QR code, and also all of that payment portal, front and back end of websites, all of that was handled by my department. So I'd say it was a department with mix of technical and creative aspects. And I picked that department because it was a complete match for me. Starting off, when I was like in very new to college, there is a random interaction where you don't know, but people are like seeking out talent in the newbies. So like the seniors, they talk to you casually. You don't even know what club or department they belong to, and they talk to you casually so that you present the authentic self.
I see.
And yeah, that's how I got in contact with some people who work in the area as I do, and that's how I joined my department. And most of it was a lot of fun, but it was a lot of effort because I had to learn a lot of new things, like different software like Blender for 3D modeling, Adobe After Effects, Adobe Premiere Pro for video editing and all. So I'd say I learned a lot of new things which I could not do when I was like in school. In school, like you don't have that many tools to work with when you're a kid, and your parents can't afford you expensive softwares and all. But in BITS, you can do that. So that gave me an opportunity to learn, and I leveraged that. And yeah, most of my first year was focused on me working on digital content. And yeah, I mean that it goes without saying that I also used to participate in sports like cricket and also, but that was like on and off. But this video editing, 3D modeling, all of that was, I could really spend hours and not feel tired. So I guess that is the main thing which I did in my first year, apart from of course wasting time with my friends, going to canteen, or you know engaging in things or drinks which I cannot specifically mention, but a bit here you get the idea, right?
Of course. Good. So good starting of the college life. Talking about your branch specific stuff,
Yes.
moving from extracurricular to academic side. Triple E is considered to be one of the most competitive branches, and it's quite, the competition is quite high. One of the most sought after branch of BITS-Pilani. So what's your view on that?
I 100% agree to that. If you take Triple E and it's your second year, first semester, I mean that is the starting phase with Triple E, and you just get exposed to a swarm of challenges, because in college it is a lot dependent on you, how you study.
Correct.
You can't get everything in the lectures because the professors are really professional. So they might speak things in a way which you cannot understand, and they cannot give dedicated time because the lecture has 300 students. Not everyone can ask their doubts and all. So it is a lot dependent on how much effort you put. And I was new to that because, as I mentioned, in the first year we already knew what we were studying. It's like a repeat, so it was not much of an effort to just go over new things also. But in the second year, first semester, not even one course I was accustomed to. I had never actually seen that stuff in my life.
I see.
So starting from this mechanics to stuff like electronic devices, semiconductors, to electromagnetic waves, you have a broad spectrum of courses. and you have to grasp all of them, and they are the beginner courses, so you need to have good foundations there. I'd say it is pretty tough because not only are the courses tough, but because there's a system of relative grading, so the crowd around you also matters. Especially when you are in the triple E branch, you are fighting among the, like, even the top bracket of the college.
Correct.
So yeah, I mean, the relative grading also makes sense because the courses are pretty tough, and you need not score full in the course, but if you score higher enough than the average, then you get a good grade. So
Of course.
everyone was struggling with those courses, and I guess I'd call it the make or break semester, because either you give up on triple E in that semester or you just accept it to your core. And then that was my approach. I did give a lot of effort, and by the end of that semester I thought, I'm not a core guy. I should probably take an IT job or do that 3D modeling stuff for freelancing, something like that. But I got a decent CG. It was, I mean, it's a good CG. It was 8.9 something. I was pretty happy with it. I was surprised I got that, all thanks to relative grading. In absolute sense, my marks were trash, but because of relative grading, everyone had trash. So yeah, because of that, I could get a good CG.
I see.
Yeah, so it was tough, but going into the second semester, as I said, like, in deep learning there is a term called reinforcement learning. So like, you give data and the neural networks learn it. So that's what happened. Our brains get accustomed to those grinding schedules, those lab exams and all. So it isn't a surprise now. So your body is already ready to take that battle.
Correct.
So it's just another wave of what you have already seen. So you don't get surprised on seeing that. You're just figuring out ways to do it better. So that is a phase where you get a breath of relief. So that second semester was the one for me where I thought, yeah, maybe triple is not that hard. Maybe the college did not actually want to teach me engineering fully, but also they wanted to teach me that there is a lot of grind which goes into anything. So like, the courses and all, they are pretty much common throughout the country. But what separates BITS Triple E from other country is the schedules, the amount of tests, all of that effort which goes in. I guess that is what creates soldiers out of kids in terms of electronics. Like, I remember courses where we had, like, in each and every course, every day at 8 a.m. you might have a test. So whatever happens in the world, every day at 8 a.m. you have to rush to give a test. You have to be mentally prepared, because the college has 0% attendance as a policy, but then they also don't announce if they are going to take tests or not.
I see.
So you have to go to the lectures or the tutorials to give tests. So because of that, every day 8 a.m. in the morning, Monday to Friday, we were rushing to the classes. Sometimes there were tests, sometimes there were not. And yeah, I guess that is why even in other branches in the college, not just triple E, you don't get that much challenges, but in triple E you do. So yeah, I guess that is why it is one of the toughest branches, but it taught me a lot, and I still carry those values or those memories of how much effort went there, and it helps me today. Looking back, I don't regret working that hard.
Good. So finally, you have come out as born soldier.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is that way.
Good. So as you have said, the BITS Tripoli, it's really it stands out.
Yeah.
So how's the research opportunity in Tripoli? In terms of laboratory and all, if I ask you.
Okay. So yeah, to be honest, if you are looking towards a research side, then the opportunities are subject to what you're interested in. What I mean is, there are some really good professors who have come from really good colleges, and they are like the fresh blood, so they have a lot of enthusiasm. For example, Dr. Vinay Chamola, who works in Internet of Things, and there were earlier I don't know if those professors work or not, but they were working inside the semiconductor areas, like someone called Karibabu Raviteja and Kavindra Kandpal. So these were some good names which I remember, and they had a lot of enthusiasm. And yeah, depending on what your interest is, for example, in IoT you will find plenty of opportunities. In embedded systems you will find those opportunities. I'm not sure about the analog side, because I myself am not an analog person. So inside the college, you might, it depends what you like. But That being said, because the professors are pretty much very open and aware,
Mm-hmm.
and they're willing to give good advices, and the
Mm-hmm.
crowd around you is also very aware, it's not like you are just limited to the college. You get to know about opportunities happening outside, like maybe NUS where I'm going, or maybe IISC, like different colleges, if there's some fest, if there's some research project and all. So even the students, they do get a lot of workload throughout the year
Mm-hmm.
in the academics, but when they have semester breaks, instead of chilling out at their homes, they take that as a fun opportunity to pursue research in different laboratories, if you have that kind of inclination.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, my point is that even if you feel bits in terms of physical aspects like laboratory equipment, if you don't find it there, you'll find plenty of guidance to find that somewhere else in the country
I see.
or outside the country. And then the bits tag, like anyone outside the country who sees that you're from BITS-Pilani, they are more than happy to take you in their laboratory because they know that you are pretty good at what you do. So
Correct, correct.
you don't feel that stuff lacking. Yeah, like even if you don't have laboratories, you have that opportunities outside, and bits helps you with that.
Good, good, good.
Mm.
So now from academics, I just want to know a bit about the placement side. Since
Yeah.
you come from Tripoli, so I just want to know how's the placement scenario in BITS-Pilani for the circuit and branches especially.
Okay. Yeah. So in terms of the core, as you call it, the core
Yeah.
placements. So it's a lot better than what we see throughout the country.
Mm-hmm.
But to be just being brutally honest, different companies which are working in the circuit branches, they require a lot of specialized skills, a lot
I see.
of trained brains. They're not looking for anyone who can just like get his fingers working.
Mm-hmm.
They want someone who can grab so fast and who has the backing knowledge. The branches like IT and all, there, even if you do not have a lot of backing knowledge, you can learn things on the go very quickly.
Correct.
But for core, you need to spend maybe years to have a good foundation of the science and then implement it. So in terms of what opportunities are given at BITS, I think everyone in my batch who sat for placement, at least for core,
Mm-hmm.
about 80-90% did get what they want.
Mm-hmm.
I myself got two offers from one for Samsung Semiconductor, one from Nvidia,
Okay.
and I was not like the most smartest person. I was among the mid rangers. I won't lie, I did good, but there were a lot of people who were a lot better than me. So even if a mid ranger like me can get two offers, then it's not hard. And there were different titles which came to the college like AMD,
Mm-hmm.
ARM,
I see.
Nvidia, Samsung, Apple, Google, and each one of them are more than willing to take people. So I guess if anyone who wants to genuinely pursue core, he will get the opportunity.
Mhm.
And that being said, it also requires a lot of guidance and clarity about what you sit for placements for. I mean, like
Mhm.
you should have a clear resume, what you are
Mhm.
presenting. You should have clear idea of what you want the guy who's interviewing you, what you want him to ask you. Like you shouldn't have a really random resume. So
Right.
he might ask questions where you are not strong enough,
Correct.
and then
Correct.
he
Correct.
might think you are a complete idiot that you presented something in your resume and you can't
Correct.
even answer that.
I see.
So I think if someone does fail, then those are the areas where they don't prepare well enough, even though they have the knowledge.
Yes.
But I think BITS gives that guidance also. Like the seniors are more than willing to help. I helped my juniors and they did get placements.
Mhm.
So yeah, in terms of placement, it's pretty good. I mean, I can remember a lot of companies coming there, a lot of people getting placed. But yeah, it is stressful because people are fighting
I
for the
see.
highest packages.
Of course.
So yeah, it happens that you enter the HR round. I did myself 2-3 times, but didn't get a call back for that I'm selected. So I was pretty heartbroken on those stages. But I guess yeah, that's part of life.
Of course,
Yeah.
ups and downs come.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm. I want to know a bit about basically, what did you do after graduation? I mean, did you join the company directly or you do something else?
Okay. So after graduation, my older brothers and all, they directly went for masters and all because they were pretty clear about the
Mm-hmm.
path they want to choose. But as I mentioned earlier, I'm not a super genius person, so it was not like I was born for electronics and all.
Mm-hmm.
I almost figured it out throughout my college that yeah, I like electronics more than other things, and specifically computer architecture and stuff like that in electronics. So I had a very specific taste, like graphics, computer
Mhm.
architecture, stuff like that. So I thought ki yeah, this is the thing which I will do. If
Mhm.
not, then maybe I will rely on the IT placements and get placed in a company which requires me to build software and all. And since I had those kind of skills, so And I was not sure if what path I want to take in life. Like, should I become a researcher? Should I become an academic guy? Should I become an industry person, or should I go into this graphics and art, because I loved that also,
I see.
and my interests were quite born out of that. Like I said, I was interested in graphics because, yeah, of course, I used to work on graphics, like make artistic stuff. So that is why I thought I'll do something related to that. And that's how I thought, okay, Nvidia would be a good company, because to produce graphics you require GPUs.
Of course.
And GPUs, when you talk about GPUs, it's Nvidia or AMD. But Nvidia is like the company for GPUs.
Correct.
So there is something called the practice school, where you go for a 6-month intern or a 2-month intern if it's practice school 1. In practice school 2 you go for a 6-month intern. So during that period I applied for Nvidia, and I made sure my resume was the one which Nvidia would pick, and I highlighted all the things which they would like. And even if in some courses I did really good but they were not relevant, I didn't keep them, because I didn't want my resume to look general. I wanted stuff to look very specific, so that the person who's looking at my resume knows ki, yeah, this is the guy I want. So I did stuff and I got my intern at Nvidia. My CG was also decent enough. So yeah, in those 6 months, I learned a lot at Nvidia. I mean, working with those people, getting an industry experience when you are in the college itself was, it was amazing for me. And then they offered me a position after I finished my intern. So yeah, I took that up. Although I did sit for placement in the second semester, because the results of the first semester's internship come out a lot later.
I see.
So I was unsure if I have something in my hand or not. So I sat in placement, got Samsung's offer. But then yeah, when I got Nvidia, I chose
course.
Nvidia, because I thought that would be my stint, my brief stint at the industry, to figure out if I want to go into core. And yeah, things have turned out quite favorably.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. So now, what are your future plans?
Starting off, I have already gotten a lot of experience. I have worked for like 2 years at Nvidia. I know how. I'm not very experienced, but I say I'm quite experienced now.
Decently experienced.
Yep. And looking back at those 2 years, I can say there's a lot of difference of you working in a company and you being in a college. Because being in the college, I had a lot of fun. Being in the company, it was not as much fun. It was more of a lot of work. And I thought I was kind of getting bored. I wanted to try something new. So, and I knew my interests, which were similar, computer architecture, graphics and all. So yeah, I thought I'll give it a shot at the academic side, like see how the research goes. So that is why I'm starting as a doctoral student at NUS.
Oh, congratulations for that.
Thank you.
So when are you going to Singapore?
Yeah, I'll go pretty much in the first half of 2024.
I see.
Yes.
Good. So now, talking about all these things, we have covered academics, we have covered your extracurricular activities. Now I want to know a bit about, have you done any other course which interests you or not apart from academics?
Good question. So yeah, in BITS, there are electives which you have to take.
I see.
So they are like courses, humanities electives and all. So there is academic stuff also, but there are these humanities electives, some related to sometimes video film production, or sometimes some professional ethics and all. How to write a paper. There are a lot of courses, and to be honest, students rely on these courses because they are easier to study. You don't have to study the
Correct.
engineering stuff in there. So I distinctly remember a course called Bhagavad Gita, which is taught in the college.
Correct.
And I guess that is one thing about BITS, that apart from having no reservation, it is also open to having these courses like Bhagavad Gita and all. Most colleges, I guess, in India would not allow that, because sometimes there is a temperament of secularism and all, due to which we are not willing to explore the history of this country and all. But BITS does allow that. So I think it was a wonderful course, and I got to learn a lot of things about our religion and all, which I did not actually know or did not have clarity about. So I think that is one course which I will always remember. Having the professors used to stay after class also to take up questions and all, and sometimes the discussions used to go on for 2 or 3 hours after class. So those are some good memories which I have. So I think that course specifically was something which I will always remember for BITS, and I'll thank BITS for that, because BITS did allow such a course to happen. Most
Mm-hmm.
colleges do not. And yeah, I think that is what sets BITS-Pilani apart, that even if the country is following some trend, they will follow what they want to.
Correct,
If
correct,
there
correct.
is no reservation, then there is no reservation. Doesn't matter what happens. So yeah, that is one thing. And yeah, of course, apart from academics, I also remember these college festivals which used to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's the cultural festival called Oasis,
Mm-hmm.
and then the technical festival called Apogee.
Mm-hmm.
So those are places where you can meet people from other places.
Mm-hmm.
And since BITS has a very grand celebration in these festivals, so people from different parts of the country come to attend those festivals. You get to see a lot of different talents perform on the stage,
I see.
and some people get inspired. They also pick up those activities afterwards. And yeah, the general atmosphere is very happy and welcoming, and I guess that's why people keep coming to these festivals.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I guess those are the things which I remember apart from academics the most.
Good, good, good. So you had a great time.
I think I can't have a time better than that again in my life. I regret it, but yeah, everyone has to go through that, but I loved it.
Good, good. So
Yeah.
thank you for joining us. I
Yes.
know Abhishek. Thank you for so much for your time.
Thank you, Aditya. Thank you for inviting me. It was lovely to talk to you.
Good.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye.